group meeting. It feels like forever since I've seen you guys. I guess because we did our December meeting early, and then this is the last Thursday. Usually we have them like, I think we've shifted them a little later into the month. But anyway, it's been a while, so I feel a bit rusty, but I'm excited to get back into the swing of things, and wish everybody a happy new year. It's still January, I guess, so I can do that. I hope that you all enjoyed the book that we're reading this month, which is Whatever Happened to Lori Lovely by the lovely Sarah McCoy. It has a great cover, doesn't it? And we will be careful not to give away spoilers if you haven't finished it quite yet. We don't want to ruin the ending for anybody, or any of the fun twists, but we do want to get to know Sarah better. She's going to be joining us shortly, and we're going to get to talk to her about the inspiration for the book and ask all the questions that you guys posted on the poll saying whether or not you could come. So I'm really anxious to do that. And I know that she's excited to be here. She's been keeping an eye on all of your comments and the posts in the group, and has been having a great time, that everybody has been loving the book so much. So be sure to like and share this video to be entered to win a $50 gift card to the Brenda Novak store, which of course is where we sell all of our fun book boxes and tons of autographed books and other fun packages. That helps other people discover us. It has been such a great January. Every January, we get a flood of new people into the book group. And what's so great about that is it just gives us this extra boost of life and excitement, and everybody's, down for starting their new reading goals. And of course, that's perfect because we have the Brenda Novak reading challenge that we start in January, where we read all 12 books to earn our pin at the end of the year. There are other fun incentives as we go along too. So if you are one of those new people who have joined us, I hope everybody else will make you feel welcome. I know they will, because this is the best book group on the planet. We have the kindest, most supportive people, and we love being part of it for that reason more than any other. And if you're not aware of how it works, it's super simple. We read a book together that's also on the Brenda Novak challenge. So like I said, for January, this was our read. And so we read it together, and then we discuss it on the last Thursday of the month with the author. They join us and give us some insights into their work and what they have coming up next and what their writing life is like. So it's always on the last Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you live somewhere other than Pacific and Eastern, it's really easy to Google for the time. Alexa's been trying to put every time zone, but it makes it kind of long. Anyway, so you can get an autographed copy of the book through my website if you want to have an autographed copy, or you can pick it up at another retailer, or you can get a subscription where we have the Brenda Novak book boxes, and that enables you to get not only an autographed copy of the book, but all kinds of other really cool things that you can't get anywhere else, because Alexa goes through the trouble of designing everything and creating it from the ground up. I'm always like so impressed. Like, even, I don't know if you guys saw that post of the French onion soup on my Facebook page, but she can't just take a picture of, French onion soup or from somewhere. She's got to create it all. So, and she does such a beautiful job of all her stuff. I'm super, super proud of her. So for those of you who haven't heard, we are very excited to announce that we have started something new. And we've done the Brenda Novak book boxes, which is the subscription where you can get it every month, or you can buy a box here and there as they suit, as you're excited for your birthday or a gift for somebody or Christmas or whatever. But you may want to become a subscriber, because I think that they're going to get harder and harder to get. We can only ask our authors. We feel it's hard enough to ask them to sign 1,000 books. We don't want to go to them for more. So we are capping at 1,000, which means in order to do this new book only subscription that we're starting, we have to do less boxes. But we want what we do to spill over into other bookstores and to help them too. So we're hoping that our social reach and that our club, if we are sold out, we'll get the book elsewhere, and it will help everybody. Our goal for doing this is to, help the authors, because they get these sales. It helps their publisher. Publishing is struggling right now because there's been so many changes. So anyway, we're grateful to you for the support that you give our authors and publishing. And we wanted to do this new subscription where you can get the book only. So it's a book only subscription. It's less expensive. So I know some of you will post on posts, I can't afford these, I wish I could get them. We make the book boxes as inexpensive as we possibly can, while still maintaining the integrity of the items and having them be cool. They're only $60 if you have a subscription, $60 a month, which of course a hardcover takes up 30 of that, right? So shipping, processing. Anyway, we have a lot of expenses and we try and work on a very skinny margin so that we can do what we do to make this book group special. But we're thinking that this new book only subscription will be something that a lot of you can take advantage of, maybe more of you. And so we are already down to only 9 left. So February's book boxes are already sold out, and the book only subscription has taken up all the rest except just 9 left. So we have those. So if you want to get a copy of that, I would grab it. Susan Elizabeth Phillips is hilarious. She's going to be really fun to interview. My husband is a big fan of hers. And so the two of them tease each other, and it's going to be a good time. Anyway, if you want to get that book only subscription, I would subscribe today just to make sure that you can get one. So I don't know if you guys can see this, or saw my post about this metal armadillo, kind of a strange little item. I think he's really cute. But the story behind this, and I put it in the post, but for those of you who didn't see it in book group, Ted does so much to support me. I mean, he drove that Bookstream, which is the converted Airstream that we turned into a bookstore coffee shop, and we took it around the country for 2 months, and we did book signings at independent bookstores for the Seaside Library. So he took off 2 months and drove and helped pull it, and it was wonderful. Anyway, and so he was Barista Ted on those signings where he's making everybody coffee, and he's been Bingo Ted. So those of you who aren't joining us for bingo, we do it the first Tuesday of every month. It's absolutely free. If you don't have your free bingo card, then you can just email store@brendanovak.com and Jennifer will email you yours. We just reuse those. That gives you your numbers that you can put on a sheet of paper. And anyway, so he'll be doing that next Tuesday. But he does a lot for us and for this group, and even behind the scenes. Like, he's helping me when I'm signing those thousands of books when it's my turn for a release, and he's packaging and shipping and doing things. So anyway, when he asked me to go with him to Pecos, Texas for work, he's been going every other month. And what they're doing is setting up these mini houses, like for the men and women who work in the oil field. They can stay for a week or a day or whatever, and it's inexpensive, and they're just tiny little homes. And so he's doing that with our nephew. And so he said, why don't you come to Texas with me this week? And I think, it's kind of boring down there because it's in the middle of nowhere in this particular spot. And so I said, sure, I can ride out of anywhere. I'll ride out of the little tiny house. And so we headed down there. But the only thing to do really is eat and maybe get an ice cream or work out at the rec center at night. And I always look for the downtown because I love shopping in cute little gift stores. So I found one gift store. Ted was getting an ice cream cone from the drive-in, and I see this little, looks like a gift store across the street. And I said, while you eat that, I'm just going to go take a look at this. And so I go across the street. Well, when I get there, I see that there's all these signs everywhere saying that it's only open like 3 hours a day, and the hours, are like 2 to 5 or something. And it was closed. But there was numbers plastered all over the windows saying that call the owner, if you want to see, then she'll come down. And I knew if I told my husband that we could get in if we call this number, that he would immediately do it. And I wouldn't be able to talk him out of it because he's just really assertive that way and really friendly and gregarious. And I'm an introvert. So I'm thinking, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. So I go back to the ice cream place and he says, how was it? Did you like it? And I'm like, oh yeah, it was closed, and I just never said anything about the number. So I thought, perfect, problem solved. He'll never know. Well, the next day he's out driving around for work while I'm back writing, and he sees the signs. So of course, you know what he does? He calls up the owner, and then he calls me very excited to say, she's coming to meet you. Like, get dressed. She's going to open her store for you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot ask owner of a store to come all the way and open it for me and then not buy something. I'll feel terrible if they go home empty handed after that. So I'm thinking, well, I'll find something. So I meet this lovely lady, and it turns out it's not a gift store really. It's kind of a used clothing store, but they have they have a few gifty items like these metal creatures, right? This is an armadillo, a roping armadillo. And I picked up, but I was looking for something that wasn't too expensive. So I pick up this smaller one, and I'm like, I think I'll take this. And this cow. And she goes, you mean goat? And I'm like, I look at closer, I'm like, yeah, goat, and then I see this armadillo. So I'm like, no, I'll get this armadillo. So she sells me this armadillo. And so when I posted about this and was like, Ted, thank you. Now I have possession of this very unique piece of art. And so he was he was nice enough to carry it home for me on the plane. But in the group, we asked everybody what we should name it. And I loved seeing some of the clever names come in. So I'm going to share some of those with you in case you didn't see that post. I really liked some of the names. So Tex was definitely the most popular. Christy Albertson, Kelly Carlson, Barbara Selman, and so many more suggested this one. Mary Hunter said, the Texan in me wants to suggest Tex. So Eurissa Smith said, Tejas. So that's the original spelling for Texas in Spanish, which I thought that was very clever. Pam Cornelison said Pecos Pete. Super cute. And Vicki Gerlach wanted me to go with Ray or Raymond because it's her husband's dad's name, and he was a Bexar County Sheriff Deputy in San Antonio for 30 years. I actually got to meet Steve, her husband. We had lunch one time with in Texas, Vicki and Steve. It was really fun. He's a coin dealer. Anyway, Tiana Croy said, Rip after her favorite Yellowstone cowboy. I have not watched Yellowstone yet. I am way behind. I think I've seen the first 2 episodes maybe. So I do know who Rip is, but I got to get back into it. I went back and started doing the series that go before. And I loved those, by the way. Really loved the historical ones. And then Marcia Bates said, Digger said they dig holes in your yard with their noses looking for insects to eat. They can be a real nuisance in neighborhoods. So I'm like, oh, yikes. Okay. And then Karen Stevens said, Texan Tedster. And then Angela Hager said, Armadillon, and she smashed Dylan from Whiskey Creek with Armadillo. So I thought that was cute. Becky Reidenauer also said Dylan because he's still her favorite character from all my books. And then Pamela Record suggested Amrock, which of course is the main protagonist of my Evelyn Talbot series and another fan favorite. But those were all great and I love them. And we got several others I won't have time to mention here today. But my favorite one, and which I thought was so perfect for it, comes from Trisha Sanders. So thank you, Trisha. It's Ted Lasso. Is that not perfect? I mean, he's literally got his little rope out there. And that show was so cute. And the main protagonist reminded me so much of my husband way before she ever suggested this. The way he's just always up, just kind of unsinkable and always the sweetest, even if he's going through a hard time and everywhere. And so I thought that's perfect. So anyway, we have now named our book group mascot. This roping armadillo is Ted Lasso. So thank you to everybody who participated in that. That was a fun post to go through. So definitely go check it out if you haven't. And now I get to do a little giveaway. Since you guys mentioned Dylan and Amarok, I thought, oh, I'm going to give away a book of your choice simply by choosing which character you like better, Dylan or Amarok. So, and if you have a write-in and you haven't read those books, that's fine too. You'll be included in the giveaway. So, and like I said, we have bingo coming up. So I wanted to remind you of that. And I also want to say that Ted will be reprising his role as Barista Ted at my reader weekend, which is coming up so fast. Lexi and I are like, oh my gosh, we have so much planning to do. She's been sending me pictures of the cute furniture that she's ordering for this. And you guys, it is just darling. I absolutely love it. I can't wait for you to see it all. The pictures are going to be great. So anyway, Ted will be there because we're going to have the book stream. So he'll be taking up his duties as barista again. And because so many people wrote in to tell us that they really wanted to come to the weekend, but couldn't because of traveling, being so far to come to Sacramento, we decided we're going to try and, of course, add another level of difficulty. We always do this. We're going to do a digital version where you can see like the Q&A with the guest authors. You can see all the other fun things that we're going to do. You'll get a special cut of the immersive video that I'm making when I go to Italy next month. It takes you along the Amalfi Coast so that you can see and experience the places that the 3 main characters, which are Sloane, Julian, and Charlotte, do. There'll be the food, the views. Of course, you'll have to make your food at home, but we'll be sharing a lot about the food and the moments that shaped their stories. So that's going to be the virtual ticket. Will be going into March's Brenda Novak book box. And we are also including one of those cute bags that you can use to carry your groceries that are reusable and they fold up into the little bag like this. We did one of these. We're sold out of these, but we did this for the Banned Books Club. So it's just a little pouch that you put in your purse. So this is just one of the items in March's box. And then you can pull it out. And what I like about this one is it keeps the pouch attached. So you use it. It's a big, nice bag like this. You use it to get your groceries or whatever so you don't have to put more plastic into the environment. And then you can just fold it right back up and put it back in the little pouch that is still attached. So anyway, it'll be designed to match Meet Me in Italy cover, of course, and it turned out really cute. I've actually already seen the design. And so we decided to put that in there. And then we just got something else, which I wanted to show you. These. So also for March's box, what we're doing is kind of like our February box where we did a lot of cool things from France, where we things we tasted or tried from different areas that we went in France. Well, we're doing the same thing, but with California. We want to give you the experience of, if you came to the weekend, what you could go around and try in the various surrounding areas like San Francisco, Napa, Tahoe. So this is something that we're getting from, and it just arrived today, so I get to reveal another thing. This is from Napa, and they are churro cookies, and they're very light and just, I think they're really delicious. So hopefully you will love these too. And they only have like, I don't know, 60 calories or something per cookie. So you can eat the whole thing, guilt-free. But if they come a little broken, that's the only thing we're worried about, is if maybe the book might crack a few, but they'll taste the same. So hopefully that won't bother you. It's about the taste, and we are excited to include that, and because it's different, something we had never tried before, and we thought you might like to try as well. So you will be doing this added virtual thing via Zoom. So when you get your ticket that comes in your March box, you'll have the link to go to Zoom, and you can get just a ticket. If you don't want to get March's box or the book we're reading or anything, and you just want the virtual ticket, it's only $6 for that. So we're trying to be as inclusive as possible. We do our best so that everybody can have fun with us, and hopefully even with this extra level of difficulty, I'm like, Lex, are you sure you want to do this? This is our first weekend. I don't know if we'll ever do another one, but there's already so many balls in the air because we want it to be so great that we take on a lot. So here's hoping the whole experience comes out the way we're picturing in our mind, right? So anyway, it'll be a really fun thing. So I've shown you the cookies, so definitely go on and grab your March box. Lexi listed those. It's going to have everything you're going to need to celebrate with us for the weekend, and we're going to reveal more items soon, so watch for that. So there was another thing that went out in my newsletter this morning that I want to make sure you saw. It is a pre-order incentive where you get this for absolutely free if you pre-order Meet Me in Italy. And so I want to show you kind of the evolution of our idea. Lexi's and I were thinking the bag charms that we've been seeing all over that are so popular would be really fun. So we started out with this one, and we just loved it. Like, you can use this here or here, and it says Meet Me in Italy on there. Isn't that cute? But then we're like, no, we've seen the ones that we really like. They have more on it. So we added another couple of charms. So this one says Meet Me in Italy and has another lemon charm. So this is the one we ended up going with. And you can get this, which I've seen these sell for, I don't know, like I've seen them for $10 or more. And you can get this for free just for pre-ordering my new book, which comes out April 7th. And if you order it from our store, you don't have to turn in a receipt or anything, and you automatically get it. And there are 4 ways you can do it. And we always get questions regarding this, so I wanted to be clear right up front. You can get it just for ordering the book by itself. If you order the book box, you're going to be getting one of these. If you order our cute bag, where's our cute bag, Lex? Our cute Meet Me in Italy bag that comes with the bag in the book, then you will also get one of these. And if you come to the Reader Weekend, of course, you're also going to get one. So 4 different ways to get one. We ordered a lot of them so that hopefully everybody get one. And here's our Meet Me in Italy bag. You can get just the bag and the book, which we're almost down to. I think we only have 10 April boxes left. So I think we're getting close to only having the bag and the book left. So anyway, make sure.
However the book is ordered.
Yeah. So however the book is ordered, you get the cute bag charm that I just showed you that goes on your backpacks or purse or whatever. It's keys. You can do anything with it. It's super cute. So you get that just as a free gift. Our thank you for pre-ordering the book. This is an important book for me. I love the way it turned out. I love the inspiration behind it. Want to share Italy with you through this special book. So we are going to also have some independent bookstores that will be doing the same promotion. We haven't had time to line that up totally yet, but you'll find that list on my website where you can also pre-order from them, and you will also get this free giveaway book bag. And now, after all of those announcements are over, I'm excited to introduce our guest author for tonight. She's a New York Times bestselling author, Sarah McCoy. She's also a USA Today bestselling author. She's an international bestselling author. She has 8 novels out: Whatever Happened to Lori Lovely, Mystique Island, Marilla of Green Gables, The Map Maker's Children, The Baker's Daughter are some of them. She lives with her husband, Dr. Brian Waterman, their dog Gilbert, and cat Tularusso in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I first met Sarah years ago. She doesn't even remember this, but I met her years ago at the at Los Angeles Book Festival, and it was just the two of us, and we were signing it. I even think it might have been a Borders tent. That's how old how long ago this was. And it was just the two of us signing, and it was kind of a quiet afternoon. It wasn't hugely busy, and I remember buying her book and taking it home. And that was my first introduction to Sarah McCoy. So it's fun that we've come full circle and that we get to have her with us tonight.
Hi. Oh,
Hello.
Brenda, thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I have to tell you, and I said this in the green room before we started, and I have to say to everyone, thank you all. You all are the best readers. Brenda has the best readers. The comments and the posts that were so meaningful and so full of emotion and so lovely. The Goodreads reviews that you all have put out. I told Brenda I came to tears more times, like genuine tears than I can even tell you. And it means so much to me. And I'm thrilled to be here tonight to get to
Yay. Well,
talk to
we're so happy
everybody.
to have you. And this is a great group. I mean, I brag about them all the time about how
You
wonderful and
should.
kind-hearted these people are and how much they do for publishing and authors, and their love of reading is just wonderful. So anyway, I was wondering how much time did it take you to sign all those books?
Oh, well, first off, I have to tell you that it was during the Christmas season, and
Uh-huh.
my husband was gone. Brian
Oh,
had gone on a business trip. He left the day before the first set of boxes came, and they came in staggered. So they came in like big groups of boxes for 3 days. And I by myself had to pull them into the house
oh my
off of the
gosh.
front porch, open them up, sign them on my dining room table. So I don't know how long it took, but it took 3 days of signing from the minute they arrived, which is usually about 11 o'clock. My delivery guy came until about 9 o'clock at night,
Well, we're
and I did
super
it.
grateful for you to do it. I mean, I when they come here, they have to bring a lift gate thing, to bring, and it's on this big pallet. And the guy last time he rammed it right up my driveway and literally broke the cement. So Ted's like, "Oh, okay, next time we're gonna have to try and figure out a better way to get all those books into the garage because I have to sign them before I send them to our packing house in Utah, just like my guest authors do." So it was.
Right, and
I love
it
taking
was
pictures of the semi though when it pulls up.
I luckily I actually liked that it came staggered because then I could get them done incrementally. I think if I would have gotten a pallet like they usually come, I would have maybe had a little bit of a meltdown by myself. Like, how am I gonna do this? I'm 5'3", like how am I gonna do
You're tiny.
so
I know. You probably weigh like 90 pounds
it
soaking
was
wet. Yeah.
crazy. And I'm using all my body weight to lug these in one at a time. But again, it was Christmas time and I did it on my dining room table. I put Christmas carols on. I lit candles. I made it because my husband wasn't home. I got to do it my own way. I got to make it like this experience. So I loved it. I really
Awesome.
loved it.
Good. Well, thank you for doing that. And I read that you actually taught a writing class in El Paso. Is that correct?
Yeah, I taught at UTEP at the University of
Oh my
Texas at El
gosh.
Paso. I
Well,
taught
because I just visited that area for the very first time. You probably heard the story about Pecos that I just went to. And isn't El Paso somewhat close to that, or am I getting my geography confused?
it's a little farther. It's down kind of near Juarez, Mexico. It's right on the border of, I mean,
Okay,
it's
I thought it
around
was
there.
the
Yeah.
city by Midland. That it's not by Midland.
No,
Okay,
no.
I'm
It's
thinking
kind
of
of
another one then.
far. It's almost in New Mexico,
Oh
out
no, this
there.
was by New Mexico. Yeah,
Las
Pecos is by New
Cruces,
Mexico.
Las Cruces,
I don't
and
know.
what else is out there? Truth and Consequences is another town. Tula Rosa is actually a town.
Oh wow. Well, I'm
So
gonna have
that
to go back and explore farther. But I remember looking at a
it's
map when I was there, thinking, where exactly am I? Because Texas is so huge, and I saw the corner of New Mexico was like 2 hours away, and I thought I had no idea I was that close to New Mexico. I've never
yeah.
been to Western Texas before,
Oh,
so
I love it out there. It gets in your blood. Texas gets in your blood,
it
and I
does.
never
I
would have
love the
thought
people of
this.
Texas. Yeah.
And I love it. I love the people. I love the culture. It really is a magical place.
I love the wide open spaces. Like some people are like, oh,
Yeah,
it's flat. I'm like, that's what I like. I can get anywhere I want to go easily. Nobody's in my way. Directions are easy. So I really like it too.
it's beautiful out
Uh,
there.
yeah. So, um, right now, before we get started, I want to do a giveaway because we always save our last book box for our book group meeting to somebody who posted they were going to be able to make it and that they have a question for us or leave a question for us. And so we have chosen that winner. So we get to give away our last January Brenda Novak book box, and it's going to
Yay.
go to Ann Chowski. So congratulations, Ann.
Congratulations, Anne.
Yeah, we
I
have
hope you
a
love
giveaway.
it.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. We have a giveaway link on my website where all the winners and whatever we give away, if you go to my website on the book group and there's a pull down tab and it just says giveaway claim form, that's the only way we have to get everything out. And it makes it really easy for Jennifer. So we will post the winners though. You don't have to worry. I know within a few days, it takes us a while to go through it all again, but within a few days, we'll post the winners and that link in the book group so you can collect your prizes. So don't worry about that. We will follow up with that. So Sarah, why don't you tell everybody how you got your start?
In writing, in publishing,
In this
or
career.
for this book, how did I get my start?
Oh,
So
sorry, no. Generally speaking, in your
generally
career.
speaking,
Yes.
well, my mother would say that I've been writing my whole life, and part of it is that English, I was never a math girl. I love science. I just wasn't into the math part. And English always came, I don't want to say easy, but it was always just sort of where my bent was in English. And so I was writing my whole life. I was on in journalism, I was on my student newspaper in high school. But all writers, we kind of came up from that. We were honing our craft even then. And then I went to college and I majored in journalism and business and minored in theater arts. I was not an actress. Don't think I was. I was playwriting in that. So then I got out and I thought I would be like an on-air journalist. And I did an internship with public television in DC, and they were wonderful and gracious to me. But the producer said to me, "You're cute, but you're not beautiful."
Oh
So
my gosh. Are you kidding?
I know. It's okay. These are,
Wow, I'm
this is
outraged.
this is what gets you like hardy though. This was what gives you a drive, is to have people kind of challenge you. So I was like, okay, I'm good with that. But isn't it more about like the stories I want to feature and do? It's not really about me. And he said, yeah, well, why don't you try writing them down first? And I thought, I think I'm going to go in that direction. And so I started writing and got out of college with my degrees and had to pay back my student loans. So I got a job that paid the bills, and that was as an investor relations coordinator. So I wrote for a chemical company, by the way. I have to, yeah. And I'm very holistic. I'm very like organic. And so this was just, my family and friends were like, what? And I said, I have to pay back student loans. I have to get an apartment. My parents didn't pay. They were military and they had already moved on to a new military station. So they said, you gotta make it work, girl. You gotta get a car. You gotta do these things.
Wow.
So I started writing for this company all of their press releases and their speeches and their annual report, all very technical during the day. And then at night, I was writing a novel. And so I knew then, like, I can't stay in this technical writing world. I would rather go back to graduate school with this novel and try to do something with that. So I submitted it and I got into an MFA program, and I went for 3 years and taught during the day. So I taught from 11 a.m. until about 3:30 students. And that was to pay then for my graduate classes that started at 4:30 and went till 10 p.m.
Oh,
And
wow.
and so yeah, so I did that for 3 years. Graduated with a manuscript, and that manuscript was The Time It Snowed in Puerto Rico. And so I submitted that for 9 months after I graduated to agents to get an agent. And then once I got an agent, it took 2 months and she sold my book to
Oh my gosh.
Random House. So that was
Wow.
That was so. How did I start? It kind of was a slow, my whole career. And that's why I say this to anyone in any field that they're passionate about and that they feel called to and that they love with all their heart is that it's not, things are not fast. Things are not a wow, boom. It can be a slow, daily, every day you're doing something towards that. And that's going to get you there. That's going to get you there
Right.
eventually. So
Right.
yeah, that's how I,
The tortoise and the hare, right?
yes, yes.
Across your novels, what themes or questions keep coming up for you, even when the settings and character differ? Do you find yourself gravitating toward a core story?
I do. I think especially in this day and age, especially right now, it's very timely. I feel like I've always been a hopeful, like an optimist.
Uh-huh.
I am an optimist. I want to believe that there's a silver lining and a rainbow and that things are going to work out. And yet, I live in a world where I am consistently on a daily basis faced with hardships and struggles and heartache and heartbreak and these horrible things that are not just happening around me, but are happening organic just to us because we're human. We get sick, we lose a loved one, we get hurt, we feel sad for reasons we don't understand and don't know why. We just feel this way. And so I think my whole life I struggled with the vision that I want to see and the vision that is the reality of what I do see. And so in my writing, I've noticed that I consistently have characters who are battling sort of either external or internal, um, uh, that dichotomy between what is and what I want it to be. And I see that over and over again, that pattern. And I
This
am a
is something
person
you can control so you can make sure it ends the way you
with
want.
hope. Yes,
Yes.
and that is what I do. I feel like I struggle with all my characters because I'm struggling. And
Uh,
through them, I'm figuring out how do I work this out in myself where I can come to a place where I understand me better, I understand the world better, I have more compassion for the people around me because maybe they're feeling what I'm feeling or maybe they aren't. Like
yeah.
all these things go into my stories and my characters for a hopeful ending. And
Well,
that's
and
where
that's so
fiction,
inspiring for others too, right? Because then they see I know they're only fictional, but at least it's inspiring me when I see fictional characters just kind of like toughen up and like I'm going to get through this, I'm going to make it, and then it's inspiring to me to face my problems with a little more courage and determination.
that's exactly it. And to feel like you're not alone in even the darkest things that you think no one else in this world. Or you look at I could look at you and say, Brenda is beautiful. She writes all these books and they're all incredible sellers. She has all these people who just love her. And wow, she has a perfect life. And yet I know that inside of you, there are things, even this moment that you are battling with, that you keep
Right.
inside of there. And that's fascinating to me. That makes us human, that makes us connect, is to actually read fiction and then be able to take that lens and
Yeah.
apply it to the people around us and say, what else is going on in there? I mean,
Right, right. Well,
what
it's just like why I think social media can be so damaging because,
ugh,
if you look at anybody's life on social media, you only post the glowing stuff, right? Like you
the
don't put
highlight
the
reel.
painful stuff out there. Exactly. And it can be so hard because people start comparing themselves or thinking, that this person they're following has just so good or so perfect and they don't often know the other side of like what you're saying, the real personal struggles. Everybody's got them, right?
And I think
Everybody's
that
got them.
part of that is that also we put up a facade in reality to protect ourselves, right? That's protection. But through fiction and through literature and through books, I think that is the one incredible way that that facade can be knocked down because now people don't feel like they need to protect themselves. They can invest themselves in characters because characters aren't real, and
Yeah.
yet they're feeling those real emotions through the characters. And so that's a way to again connect without that barrier up that we put up sometimes with ourselves because we don't want to get hurt. Like this real
Right.
person we don't want to hurt. So
Right. It's
I
a cathartic
love fiction.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. I love it. So if you could share your dinner table with one literary influence or more, if you want to add more, can you name one that you would love to have dinner with?
Okay. I thought you were going to ask me for three. So I thought
You
of
can have
three.
three. I thought I'd make
Okay.
it easier. I was dumbing down the question a little bit just so that it'd be easy because
Y'all
it'd be
don't
hard for
know.
me to come up with three.
Yeah, y'all don't know, but in the green room, she told me this question. I said, "Oh my God, I don't know who am I gonna have at my table?" But I thought, okay, so I think Lucy Maud Montgomery,
Okay.
if I
And
could,
why?
because she so inspired my childhood. She was my classic literary bestie. I mean, she was everything I wanted to be. She was everything. Her books, I read all of them. I mean, all of the Anne of Green Gables series. Clearly, I mean, why else would I have written Marilla of Green Gables if I didn't love Lucy Maud Montgomery? But all of Anne of Green Gables. Then you have the Blue Castle that she wrote, which is incredible. You have Emily of New Moon, which is amazing. So much Lucy Maud Montgomery. I love her. And I love the fact that she was a cranky, persnickety, thorny person in real life. And yet she wrote, again, these hopeful, beautiful, very sweet characters because from the journals that I've read of hers, she was working out that I feel like a cranky old person, and yet I want sweetness and I want love and I want to be loving and kind. And how do I rectify these two things that are inside of me?
Oh,
And
wow.
so for sure, Lucy Maud Montgomery. And then I also thought, because I know her well and I have met her, and I would love to have tea with her or sit with her again, is Sue Monk Kidd.
Oh,
Uh, I
I
adore Sue Monk
love The
Kidd.
Secret Life of Bees was so
Ah,
good. Yeah. I
look, I
remember
can't
being
believe you even
in a
said that.
hotel traveling.
I'm rereading this right now just because
No
of the
way.
time we're in, and it makes me so happy. It makes me
Wow.
so hopeful. So
Yeah.
Sue Monk Kidd lives close to me. I'm not going to give her house away, but she lives nearby, and we have met. And now she doesn't leave very often because of the struggle she has right now with Parkinson's. And so
Oh,
I would just love to be with her, with my friend,
yeah.
because she inspires me in so many ways. So
I,
Sue
I
Monk
think
Kidd.
of her book often, especially The Empath and The Wailing Wall. For some reason, I see
Oh,
that parallel or pattern in people. And Alexa, my daughter, super uh, has a lot of empathy for everybody around her. And I always think about The Wailing Wall and the
yeah.
empath in that book. And I remember I
Oh,
was traveling when I read it, and it was so hard because I shut myself in the hotel room and read, but I was working, so I had to go out and do things. I remember hating to put that book down. So yes, I can
I
see why you would want to meet her. That's wonderful. Or
yes,
have
and
dinner with
well,
her.
yes, I would,
Yeah.
and I've read it probably two or three times, and I weep. I just feel so deeply for these characters. I just love it so much. So, anyways, I would love those are my two.
Okay, well, I would love to probably have Colleen McCullough was a huge influence on me. The Thornbirds was probably one of my favorite books. I would love to have met her. She seems, I don't know, a little mysterious to me for some reason.
Yeah.
And so I would love to meet her and have dinner with her and have a chance to talk. Diana Gabaldon is another one. I have met her.
Oh my gosh.
But she helped me do some fundraising for my diabetes auction and was always so kind and generous. I love the way she speaks. I don't know if you've heard her talk, but I love
I've
the way
done an
she
event with
speaks.
her.
Oh, have
She's
you?
she's
Lovely.
amazing.
Yes.
Can I just tell a quick story about her? We are
Sure.
doing an event with a book club like yours. And they were in person and it was a Zoom and we are on the other side in a hotel room and they are in a church, meeting in a church. And
Just
she says to them, "You know what's great about a man in a kilt?"
I
And
know
they
where this is
say,
going.
"What? What is great about a man in a kilt?" And she says, "They can have you up against a wall in 30 seconds or less, ladies." In a church. And they just die laughing. And they're all just like, clutching their pearls and fanning themselves. And she just gives off this Diana cackle that I will never forget. And I will love her the rest of my life for that cackle because it was like she was like poking the fire, and I love her. I love
Yeah,
her. She's
she's
amazing.
hilarious, and she's created one of the best heroes of all time in Jamie. I really, really think she created something special there. And
Yeah,
yeah, so those would probably be my two. I mean,
those are
there's
good.
tons more. I'm sure if we thought about it, we could come up with a list of 100, but those are the two that come to mind for me. So
I love it.
let's move on. What's the best piece of writing advice you've ever received, and what's the best advice you'd give to your younger self?
The best piece of writing advice I ever got was from Sherry Reynolds, who is an author, and she was an Oprah book club pick at the very beginning of Oprah's book club. The Rapture of Kenan was her book, and she was my mentor in MFA school. And she said to me, never think that your writing is so gold and so precious that you can't rip it out of the page and rewrite something else. And she said, because revision is everything. So that was something that I learned very early on, is that are the conduit. You're like, just think of yourself as the conduit for the story and let the story come through you. And if you don't write it right, rewrite it, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid that whatever you wrote was so precious that you can't rewrite it. So that was very helpful. And
Yeah.
then what I would tell my younger self, oh, I would just say, girl, buckle up, man. Put on some spurs. You're gonna be riding this bull, and it's gonna knock you on your butt more times than it's gonna give you a fun ride. So that's what I would probably say. That just buck up. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not
I
very.
think I would probably tell my younger self to enjoy the ride a little more. I think I've always been so
Yes.
driven and so work oriented. Finish, finish, next one, get it done, cross this off your list, march, march, march kind of thing. And I feel like at my age now, which I'm obviously older than you, I just wish that I would have slowed down a little bit to enjoy the ride a little more. Like it's not all about the destination, it's about the ride. And so I think too, though, it is definitely a bucking bronco in this
Yeah.
career. So that part of it reminds me of that song, hide your crazy and like put your makeup on. What's that song? I can't remember. Anyway, I often think of that song too when times get tough and think you just gotta put your best face on and keep going, right?
Well, you know what, and I thank you for sharing that, because I feel like after what I just said, maybe I needed to hear your advice. Your wise sage advice, I needed to hear right now, because I think I don't do that. Clearly, if I'm like, jump on the bull and ride on, like, I do need to enjoy
Enjoy
and
the
slow
ride.
down a little
Yeah.
more. So thank you for that,
Yeah.
Brenda.
It goes very,
I'm gonna
very
take that.
fast. I mean, I'm always looking forward, and then suddenly I'm at a point now where I'm starting to look back, going, "Wow, I'm getting older. I've covered a lot of ground,"
Yeah.
and so it goes really fast. So next up, we're going to be doing a new feature that we started. Well, it's not so new anymore. We've been doing it for several months now. It's called Spill the Tea, and it's where we ask a little more intimate questions, something maybe people haven't heard everywhere else during your interviews. So let's check this out and see if we can have some fun with this. So it's, what is a New Year's resolution that you've already abandoned?
We don't make New Year's resolutions in this house. That is our resolution that we made at the beginning of our marriage. We don't make them because it just sets you up to be disappointed, because or it's like a monkey, on your back, that you're like, oh, I said I wasn't going to, I don't even know what, like, I wasn't going to drink sodas. I really want a soda, like, I'm like you just said, you only live once. Come on, you know what I mean? Everything in moderation, and so it's not just stuff like that, but even you know, social media time, television, all of that, everything in moderation. We just really
Yeah.
feel like the New Year's resolution, they never do it for me.
Well, I started to learn French after this wasn't really a resolution. It's just that I got
Yeah,
an impromptu visit to France early December. So I came back just dying to learn French. So there's this Duolingo. You've probably heard of it. You can, it's
yes.
gamified anyway. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm too old to learn a language, but I've always wanted to learn French. I'm like, what the heck? I'm going to do it. And I actually have just really enjoyed it. I haven't fallen off the wagon yet. I think I have 48 days straight now or 43. I can't remember anyway. I have this perfect record. So I'm really excited about everything that I'm learning. So one day maybe I'll be able to say a few things for everybody in French. I'm not quite brave enough yet now, but it's fun to be able to recognize as many words as I do and to be able to read a lot of it now. So
Yeah.
that's fun. So not really a New Year's resolution, but something new that I'm doing that I really enjoy that's kind of
No, I,
started
I, I
near
like
the
that
first of the
idea
year.
better. Let's not have resolutions for the new year. Let's have what am I going to invest my time in that's new? What am I
Yeah.
going to open
Yeah.
myself up to that's new this year? I like that. That's
Exactly.
amazing.
Exactly. Now that I'm going down to only one, sometimes two books per year, it gives me a little more time to pursue some of the things that I've been putting off, and this is one of them. So
I don't know
really
how you do
excited to
that.
do it.
What I don't know how you do a book a year or two books a year. I would lose
Yeah.
my mind, Brenda. I would be
Yeah. I
like,
used to do three. So it's been, yeah, I used to do three. I have 80 books out. So this
I'm
is
in
like,
awe.
I feel like I'm coasting now, which is kind of nice. Traveling, I'm having lots of fun because I only have to do one book, you know?
Amazing.
Okay. So where is the weirdest place or website your research has taken you?
Okay, guys. So quite a few times I was Googling like nun, Hollywood, sexy nun, like, and some of the things that popped up, I literally had to clear my history so my husband didn't think crazy things were happening. I was looking at Romeo and Juliet adaptations, nun, you know, um, Elvis and romances, Elvis Love Child, none. And then also altogether, the algorithm was just giving me really, I can't even
Interesting
mention.
feed.
I can't mention what they were that would
Oh,
pop
that's
up. And
so
so,
funny.
yeah, so that was
Oh,
really strange. But
well,
yeah.
I've told everybody about my morgue story. You probably haven't heard it, so I won't retell that one. But another crazy place that my research took me was to the old territorial prison in Florence, Arizona. I wrote a book called Taking the Heat. It was my first suspense title, and it was about a man who was innocent, who was in prison, and how he was desperately, even willing to break out in order to get back to his son because his wife, he was accused of her murder and was innocent of it. But anyway, so I loved the whole, prison guard who has to go after him thing. Anyway, so I got to go down there because it was set there, and it's a place. It's like it would have been a ghost town because it was an old silver mining town that kind of dried up. But they built 7 prisons, so the whole economy runs on these correctional facilities. And the old territorial prison is where they had an old Richard Pryor movie set,
Oh
and
my
there
God.
was my mother's best friend's daughter's husband murdered her, and he was on death row. And when I was there, I did not get to see him specifically, but I'll never forget them dressing me up with like, because I tried to get through a California prison because I didn't want to have to go all the way to Arizona, but they were like, California's like, no way, like too much liability. We're not letting you in here. And in Arizona, like, all right, little lady, come on down. So it was pretty funny. They showed me through. They put these guard things on my eyes because I guess prisoners can like try and blow like darts at you, like
Oh
paper
my
wads to get you
God.
sick, give you AIDS. And anyway, and I've
Oh
got
my
this like
gosh.
knife proof vest on, and I'm marching through these cells. And it was a very interesting. I was very grateful to them to let me see it all. Actually, it was fascinating. I loved the research, and so I've written that book and another one inside that takes place in a prison. So the prison research, I think, is some of the most interesting. I got to tour Corcoran Prison as well later because I did have a contact there. And so, anyway, those were some interesting research trips for sure. So, what is your most embarrassing moment from a writing convention or a book signing?
I would say not embarrassing, but I just didn't know how to I didn't know how to handle it at the time. It was one of my first was when my first book came out, and I went to I think it was at a Barnes and Noble in DC somewhere, and I did an event there, and afterwards a man came up to me and he picked up my book and he flipped it over to my author photo on the back, and he looked at me, and then he looked at the book, and then in front of everyone. I mean, there weren't that many. There might have been like 40 people in the line there. But in front of everyone, he said to me, that doesn't look anything like what you look like in real life. You don't look anything like this. And like, he was so disgusted for some reason. And then he just put my book down, slammed it down on the thing. And I was like,
Oh,
I'm sorry. And then he
oh.
walked out, didn't buy the book. It was like, I still don't understand what
What
happened
he's going
there.
for. Yeah. Like,
I have
what were
no
you going
idea,
for
but
there?
it was so strange. It was one, and so after that, then I was like, do I need to get a different photographer? What do I? So that was a
Yeah.
weird moment. That was a weird
That's
moment, but
definitely a weird moment. Some of my readers probably have heard this story for me in live events. I don't think I've told it on one of the book group meetings though, so I'll go ahead and tell it. One of my most embarrassing was that I was supposed to speak at this RWA meeting, and it was in Florida. And when you traveled to speak at RWA meetings, oftentimes a fellow member would put you up or drive you around. Well, not put you up. I guess that happened once in Arizona. But anyway, I was at a hotel, but shoot, this member was driving me, and we were a little bit late, so I was kind of stressed. And it was in a back room of this restaurant. So I jump out of her car and I go marching across the parking lot and through this really crowded restaurant to get to the back where I'm supposed to speak. And she's trying to follow me the whole time. She's going, Brenda, Brenda. And she finally catches up with me and she's like, you've got your dress stuck in your underwear. I had just gone all the way through this thing with my backside showing. So that will always stand out as one of my most embarrassing moments at
I'm
a meeting or
sorry.
other
I was like,
writing
oh my
events. So kind of unforgettable, right? When you get that
God.
embarrassed. But
Wow.
all right, our last thing from spilling the tea is, what's the weirdest thing you've ever used as a bookmark?
So I put everything in there. I go through books and and I love this. I've got plane tickets. I'm sure everyone does that. All these plane tickets
Oh,
because I'm
yeah.
reading on the plane and I just to get and I love finding those. But the weird thing though that I have found in books is uh, bugs like that have been. So then I'm like, where was I
Oh,
reading this? I found a ladybug that was squashed in one,
oh,
and I thought, where was I reading this? And then I remembered though that I had taken it out on like a picnic, and I had read
oh,
it like on a picnic blanket, and it brought back all those sensory memories. I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. We went out by the Rio Grande one day and we had a picnic, and this must have flown into there and gotten squashed. And this was like 5 years ago in El Paso.
oh.
And then I found it just so beautiful, but it's a squashed bug. So it
Oh
was
my
weird.
gosh. That
It
would
was
make for a
weird, but I
weird
loved it. Yeah, I
bookmark.
left it in there. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's great. Well, now we get to talk about whatever happened to Lori Lovely. We're going from general to specific now. It's a spellbinding novel based on a true story. I love books based on true stories, by the way. But anyway, a beautiful young movie star of Hollywood's golden age gives up her bright career to become a nun. So if you haven't read it yet, you guys got to get it and read it. It's such a great book. Mary Cutter says, I am amazed at the change of career from being a star to being a nun. How did you come up with this plot? And I think that you have shared a little bit about this, but why don't you tell us briefly again?
Well, this was inspired by the decision that a real life woman, Mother Dolores Hart, made to do exactly that. She was a Hollywood star um, at the height of her career at age 1920 ish. She was Elvis's first on screen kiss. She was rumored to be in a relationship with him. The press had a field day with that. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, it seemed, she decided that she was leaving Hollywood altogether and she was joining the Benedictine Abbey in Connecticut.
Huh?
So that I didn't come up with that plot. That was sort of that was the spark of inspiration for the book entirely, was that idea of someone actually making this choice. And then I wondered why. And that became the fiction of me creating the narrative of why would a person do this? Why did she do this? Why could she have thought to do that? So
Yeah,
that's where it
yeah.
came from.
I love it. I love when you've got a story, how it'll kind of agitate your imagination. That's when you know it's something you really want to write about. That little excitement inside. Yes, I've got something. This is a conflict I find fascinating, or characters I find fascinating. So it's always fun when you land on that next nugget that you're going to use
Right.
for your story. So. All right. Anne Chowski, who was the winner earlier of our box, said, do you have any personal connections to a community of nuns? There was so much detailed information about the daily routines included in the book. I liked that too because I have no idea of that whole lifestyle. So it was interesting to get the insider view.
Yeah, me either. I'm not Catholic. I didn't grow up Catholic. Nothing. No Catholic. No. So
So you had to
um,
learn it all.
well, yeah, the little bit I did know about Catholicism was that my mom is Puerto Rican
Okay.
and my grandma is very Catholic. I mean, she is like Latina Catholic with the mantilla she wears, and she walks to mass in Puerto Rico every morning. I mean, very Catholic. And I think my mom was very like, we're not having anything to do with that. And so I never had anything, almost like to the extent of being pushed away from it, which made me curious because I thought, why is my mom directing me in a different way when my grandma says that way is the right way? I'm getting these mixed messages again. That sort of, I love a conflict within myself, and I go to books to figure it out. And so to answer the question, I went to the Abbey of Regina Latis. I actually started writing Mother Dolores as a pen pal, as a friend, as someone seeking
Oh,
information about her life, the Catholic faith. So 7 years of letter writing with her, with no
wow.
intention of writing a book. It was just our pen pal relationship. I just loved her, and I wanted her to. She was a spiritual guide of sorts to me, or not of sorts. She was and is. And so I then, when I decided I was going to write this book, I knew I needed to go and immerse myself in the Abbey and be there and see it and meet the sisters. And so I did.
And
So
were
I
they
went.
welcoming to that idea? They didn't
Yeah,
mind
it
that you
took
were
a little.
writing?
I had to petition. I had to like ask permissions to get them to go. It's a cloistered nun or a cloistered abbey, so you can't just walk into their
Oh,
backyard and hang out. I had to ask from the mother abbess. I had to ask the sisters. They gave me permission. I was like a 6 months to get to that,
oh.
and then I went there and got to spend time with them, and that was
How long were you
absolute.
there?
I was up in Connecticut about a week.
Wow, wow, that's great. So you had plenty of time to get the feel of the place
Oh,
and the run of it.
it's the town is called Bethlehem. I mean, I can't even like make it up, like how dreamy this, and even it's not a dream. It's like it's something that we assume is almost from a different kingdom. Like it's like a
Uh-huh.
different. So there's an abbey in a town called Bethlehem, and there's women there who choose to go and live this monastic life where they basically are farm to table. I mean, the whole thing. I just had to go, so I did, and I was fascinated. I still am. I was intrigued by these women who are bright and brilliant and young. The nun or sister who let me in was 10 years younger than me.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
thought that it might be somewhat of a dying breed. That's a difficult life to lead, to
Right.
give up, what they give up in order to do that. And so were you more understanding after seeing their lifestyle as to why that could be appealing to a woman? Or do
Yes,
you think,
absolutely.
okay, all
Think
right.
about it. You're in a sisterhood of women who are smart. A lot of them go on to get further education. They have their PhDs.
Okay.
Um, they go to school. They are brilliant, wonderful mentors to their community. So they're doing things in the community
Okay.
um, to foster a sense of empowerment, which
Okay.
is the opposite of what I thought. I always felt like something like that would be all about rules and what you can't do. and sort
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
locking you into a cloistered atmosphere where you're bottled and you aren't engaged with the community. But it was the opposite. It was the
Oh,
opposite. They have gardens that they make grow all their food, and they use what they need, and they give the rest of the community. They have cattle and sheep that they take care of all of it by themselves, and they use what they need and they give the rest of the community. And it was just such an organic, beautiful
pun
give
intended.
and take. Right? Yeah, give it. And I just found it all so bucolic and so natural and inspiring. I mean, think about it. You
Wow.
go, and as women on a very basic level, you're in a community of sisters. You are all cooking together. You're all engaged in the same activities together. You don't have to shave your legs. You all wear the same thing. You don't even have to like wash your hair or do it because you've got, you just wear. My
Wow.
God, it
Yeah.
sounds, so I was moved deeply
Yeah.
by their commitment to it not being about the doing even, and not being about the facade, and not being about all the things that are so important to us in this culture and time.
Yeah.
Instagram, socialness, being famous, getting, driving yourself, being driven and ambitious. It was about, how am I connecting with the person next to me? But more importantly, how is that connection related to a greater God, a greater good, a greater source of energy, a greater greatness? And
Uh-huh.
how can we then go from here to the person next to us up to a greater greatness, and then have that come back in to center ourselves? And that's the legacy you want to leave, is that right there, and
So,
radiating that kind of love to everyone around you. And I just found
yeah.
that mind blowing
Yeah,
in
yeah,
this.
I think it's wonderful. So was it a conscious decision to write this book as wholesomely so that it was so wholesome? I mean, it could have gone in different places dealing with some of the issues, and you was it a conscious decision to make it that wholesome?
No, I didn't think about it actually. I just,
No.
at all. And another one of the inspirations is Olivia Hussey.
Okay.
Y'all remember her? Yes, from Romeo and Juliet.
Uh-huh.
And she didn't become a nun, but she followed a guru, and was very, and almost became a Sikh. And so she was very, again, looking for sort of a spiritual connection to something deeper and more long lasting. And so
Yeah.
I think when you're writing about these women who are looking for things that are deeper, um, the salacious aspects of life, I
It
mention
doesn't
them.
fit.
They're
Yeah.
in there, but I'm not going to celebrate them, because that's not what we're looking for. That's not what the characters are searching within their narrative for. And so it really was more that Lori Lovely was not, her attention was not set on those things. Her
Yeah.
attention was set on trying to find a way out of the darkness, trying to find hope, trying to find goodness and joy and peace and love, and these fruits of the spirit, as they call them,
Yeah.
that would help her deal with the tragedy and the loss and the hurt and the abuse that
Yeah.
is inherent in our world, and it was inherent in, especially in the Hollywood system at the time. So
Right. Well, I'm sure that hasn't changed a great deal, right, at the time.
I know, I know, I know. It
Um,
still resonates.
so Patricia Warren asked if you visited a monastery. You just gave us that story. So Deborah Day said, "Are monasteries really as refreshing, reset, and are the nuns truly as jovial as they seem?" Now you've painted a pretty picture. Is there a lot of laughter as well?
They are, but they're saucy. I mean, those,
Oh, okay.
they had a little bit of an edge to them. So while they were warm and welcoming and very forthcoming with me and very open to all my questions, and even questions like we talked about, and I don't know, I hope your readers will forgive me, but they talked about sex, they talked about all these things, like um
That's interesting. Yeah, you didn't
yes,
expect that.
I was
Yeah.
blushing, Brenda, I was blushing in that room with them more than they were blushing talking about sex. I mean, I was like, oh my goodness, the nuns are talking about sex. So it was, they were very forthright and open, but at the same time, I I did get this sense that they were like also very like almost like Amazon women. Like there was a mightiness to them, like don't cross us because
Uh-huh.
we are a force. There was that feeling to them. And this is funny, this is a tiny thing, but for they all have cell phones. They're all very modern, by the way. They
Oh,
make it
uh-huh.
seem, yeah, they were all.
That's
And at one
great.
point, I had a letter that Mother Dolores was trying to open and she couldn't get it open. And all like at the same time, three of the nuns reached into their pockets and pulled out Swiss Army knives and just blades came out. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow. And I said, you guys just carry those? And they said, yeah, you never know when you need a knife. And then they opened the letter from Mother Dolores, and I just thought, they are nun ninjas. These are
Wow.
nun ninjas who live here. I mean, there was a fierceness about them. There was.
Well, you
Yeah,
painted
they
a
were.
very appealing picture of them. I wish that we could all meet them. That would be neat. So,
I wish you
um,
could too.
yeah, we're running out of time, so we'll get to a few more. Fran Vella said, "I'm intrigued that you have corresponded with Dolores Hart. Has she read the book?"
Yes, absolutely. She was the first person, even though my editor was like, "You don't have to do this. Maybe we shouldn't do this." But I was like, "No, Sarah, have to do this. I have to give her because she's not just someone that I was inspired by, and the book is loosely based on. She is my spiritual mentor, and she's a
Okay.
friend. And so I sent her a bound copy before it even became a galley, and
Wow.
I know she read it, and then I know a bunch of the sisters read it just because, again, they're a collective force of protection over her too.
Right,
So
right. So are you still friends with her?
yes. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
Oh,
Still
yes,
staying in
yes.
touch, still
No,
conversing or
we
corresponding?
still write letters and I hear from them. And she now in her older age, and she's gone through some health things that she's fought and bounced back from. But now it's more, we correspond through one of the other nuns who helps her write and helps her give messages to
Oh,
me because it's hard for her. She has some joint issues and she can't,
uh,
it's really hard for her to write. But yes,
uh,
no.
that's too bad. Okay, so Sherry Vogel wants to know, how long did it take you to write this book?
Oh, like I said, I started letter writing her 7 years before I started writing the book. So all that research and knowledge and kind of conversation and voices were in my head. But
Yeah.
it probably took me, the actual writing, once I had the research all together, maybe 10 months.
Oh, that's not bad. So do you write from an outline, or do you, let it grow out of the characters organically, like we call
I've
them
done
cancer?
both. I've done both
Oh,
for
wow.
different books. And for this one,
Me either. I'm
um,
so impressed. I cannot do the plotting. So I'm excited
oh,
that somebody that can move back and forth is amazing.
yeah, no, I have, what I do is I put little paragraphs. Do you use Scribner? Have you ever
I
heard of
don't.
Scribner? It's
I've heard of it, but I don't even know what it is.
It's like a corkboard format. So you have corkboard almost like sticky notes. And so I put down different paragraphs of just the events that happen in these chapters. And then
Okay.
I can rearrange them as I want. So that's kind of what I do.
Very cool. That's neat. I'm gonna have to check that out. So just two more questions.
Sure.
I definitely want to make sure we get to Jackie Atkins, who wants to know if you have another book on the horizon. What's coming up next for Sarah
I
McCoy?
I am speaking of letting yourself enjoy the ride and run free. Have a book that I am working on. It's my first collaboration book
Oh,
with a man. So
oh,
I'm nervous because I've never done something like this before. And he writes nonfiction. And
oh.
so I write historical fiction. And so we're working together to write this story. And that's going to be a really fascinating process. And I'm challenged by it and I'm terrified of it. And it's brand new for me. And it's World War II stuff. So
Okay.
I'm so that I don't know which is going to come out first. And then I'm also at the same time, my agent has given me, she's put down a decree. She said, Sarah, I want you to write something new that has nothing to do with anything, and you just have so much fun writing it. She said this just
Nice.
last week, and I thought, and then I sat down at my desk, and Brenda, I've never done this because I've always had research and I've always had
Right,
history.
right.
And I started writing, and I wrote like, I just kept writing. I wrote like so much, and it felt so good, and it felt so refreshing. So I don't know now what's going on with this new book because it's not historical. And so I don't
Ooh.
know what's happening. I don't
That's
know what's
all
going on.
intriguing. Well, it
So,
must be in the water. I've started books unlike anything I've ever written too, that's a first person psychological suspense. Now, I've done some suspense, but everything I've written so far is third person. And I am having so much fun with first person. This book is just
yes.
pouring out. Like, I've already gotten over 100 pages of it. And I just think, oh my gosh, I love it. I want to go back to it. Like, I think of it at night, and I can't wait to get up
Me
and go write the next
too.
morning.
Oh
So
my
fun.
gosh.
Yeah.
I love that. I got goosebumps for you and for me. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, we're doing new things. And that's what makes us creative. You know, that's
Yeah.
the,
Yeah. I finally have time because my contract book, they're stacked up, they're ahead. So
yeah.
it's like they're like, well, you don't have to deliver your next one quite yet. So I'm like, I'm gonna write something that I just want to write and we'll see where it goes. So
Oh, isn't it
very
refreshing?
fun.
I love hearing.
Definitely. So Sally Baker has a great one to end with. She said, if you could write another novel like this around someone famous, who would it be?
Oh gosh. I don't have an answer for you. I'm
If
sorry.
you
I
did
don't.
have an answer, you'd probably be writing the book, right? I don't
Yeah.
know of any that I want to write about. I know Patty Callahan Henry has written about what was that? The other Mrs. Anyway, some people will write
Yeah.
about literary
No,
inspiration.
no, no. I'm good
Yeah,
friends with Patty.
yeah.
Yeah, the C.S. Lewis's wife,
Yes,
Joy.
yes, there you go.
Yes.
That's what I was grasping for.
I'm
Yes.
actually seeing Patty in a couple weeks. She's coming here to
Oh, I love
Winston-Salem.
her.
My
Tell her I
goodness.
said hello. Yeah,
I
we featured
will.
her in
I
the group
will.
last year. So
I know. She spoke so highly of you and your whole group, and I love it. But yeah, no, I think for the time to answer the question, I think this was Lori Lovely was my girl, and now I'm moving on to other things that are inspiring me, and maybe I'll circle back in the future and find a new muse and someone. But right now I want to do something new for you guys. I want readers to have to constantly be like, this is new. Let's do this,
yeah.
Sarah. So,
Very cool. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see where both novels go. How did
you
you
know,
hook up with the guy that you're writing with?
yeah, I
Well, I
wish
shouldn't
we,
say hook up. Sorry. How did you meet the guy
oh,
you're writing with?
I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, no, I had nothing. My agent called me one day and said, this nonfiction business guy, I'm giving to it. He has a bunch of letters, and can you read them, and like real life
Ah,
letters that he found, and he wants you to read them. His agent and my agent got together and said, can you guys get on a Zoom and see if you're a good match? And so it took almost a year of
wow, very cool.
interviews.
It
And
sounds
then
amazing.
he said, all right, Sarah, I think I want to, let's do this together. And I said, okay, I think I want to do it too. And so, yeah.
Nice. Well, congratulations on that, and we can't wait.
Thank you.
Do you have any idea when either of them will come out?
I just started. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm guessing, no, I have no idea. That's the thing. I'm just gonna
Well,
run with it. Yeah.
that's great. That's great. Well, we are definitely hoping and pulling for
You'll
your
be the first
success.
to know, though. You and
Yay.
your readers, because I love you all so much and you've been so good to me. You'll be the first to hear as soon as I have more information about which one and when.
We are so excited for it, and we thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a
Thank
wonderful read,
you.
everybody. We loved
I
the
love you
book,
all.
and we're excited that you were able to join us tonight. Thank you so much.
And thank you for all the Goodreads 5 stars. Those have meant the world to me. I love button all of them, and I will love yours if you go and put one on.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
All
You
right.
have a nice night.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
All
All
right. Bye,
righty.
Brenda. Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Okay, everybody, before you go, I have just a few more announcements. It's Betty Bajek's birthday tonight. So nice of her to spend it with us. If you saw her post, she was supposed to be born on Valentine's Day, but came early, January 27th. Every year, her mother made her a heart-shaped cake. This year, she said her almost 100-year-old mom's birthday is April 3rd. My mom is no longer with us, but hers was April 2nd. So that's pretty close. She said she used to make make her a conversation heart bracelet. So anyway, we're glad that she's here with us at the book group meeting, and we are wishing her a happy birthday. We're going to send her our darling happy birthday package at the store. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's so cute. It has a cute little pink mug and a little mix that you make this cupcake in a mug and you frost it, and it has the candle, and it's just confetti. It's like this whole thing. So if you have somebody having a birthday, that doesn't even necessarily have to be reader related. It's just fun birthday stuff. Definitely check out our store birthday package. We're going to send one to you, Betty, to wish you a happy birthday. So thank you for joining us tonight. And speaking of Valentine's Day, we are putting together some fun Valentine packages. I know it's coming up right away, so we're rushing to get that done. Definitely watch for that. It's going up on Saturday, and sign up for our newsletter so that you never miss out on this information. And before I go, let me announce our top 10. These are the contributors who like and post and help other people the most in the group. Facebook counts it all up. We're not picking favorites or anything, but we are grateful to these people because not only do they help us answer questions and let us know when there's a problem if we've missed it, they help the algorithm then recognizes, oh, people like this post, so I'll serve it out to other people. It helps us get new members and get people to know about the book group meeting, maybe other people that don't follow us closely. So anyway, they are a big help. And each time you make top 10, each month you make it, your name goes in a hat for the drawing at the end of the year. We pull 4 to win a year's Brenda Novak book box subscription. So each person gets a quarter, 3 boxes each. So congratulations to Janet Roble, Nicole Duval, Juanita Ramirez, Jo Marie Mader, who just had her shoulder replaced. Hope you're doing good, Jo Marie, sorry. Nancy Brady. She just sent me a fun book. Thank you, Nancy. Marie Christensen, Jen Miller, Star Roybal, Cheryl Ferguson Little, and Pam Rickard. I know some of these people are coming to the weekend, and I cannot wait to see them. So remember to read and record our January book by February 15th, because we are it's on my website under the books group tab, and you get a chance to win a monthly giveaway of a $100 gift card to the Brenda Novak store. So don't miss the drawing. Make sure you record that you read the read by 2 weeks after the month in which it was our book group read. So you can, to be entered to win the grand prize at the end of the year, which is a dedication to one of my novels, you don't have to keep up every month, but you do have to get them all done by the end of the year and record it by January 15th. So I want to say thank you to our some live viewers. Lexi, did you pull up some live viewers? We would give a $10 gift card to some live viewers here. Lynn Nanny, thank you. Sally Marie Baker, thank you for joining us. Vicki Versetti, Patricia Warren, Mindy Ehrlich, Deb Roca, thank you so much for coming tonight. And happy birthday to Mary Lou Frary. Oh my gosh, I missed Mary Lou. She's a doll. She's actually in our area. So our February read is And the Crowd Went Wild by Susan Elizabeth Phillips. And like I said, that meeting is going to be so fun. We have already got some fun things planned for that, so you're not going to want to miss it. Put it on your calendar. Our book group meetings are always the last Thursday of the month at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, except November and December because those are holidays. They're a little different, but we hope to see you here in a month. So, and also for bingo on Tuesday, Ted and I will be ready for that. So thanks so much. Hope everybody enjoyed the book this